Well, welcome to Title 10. I originally planned on my last video to be about gun laws, but apparently it cannot be my last. I'm not saying this one's going to be my last, but I don't know. But welcome to Title 10. Thanks for watching. Uh, the few, the proud, and well, that's about it. So, the other day, I went to my local governments to talk about various things. And there's a whole bunch of people wanting to talk about this Parkland shooting. And I had a few issues with that. It's not that they're talking about it, but they're newcomers. They're new people who have not been here for, I doubt most of them have been here a year. And before they understand how things work, what laws there are, they're coming in and bitching about it. Well, if you like where you lived, you like those laws, go live there. Please, by all means, go the fuck back. It spans all races. I really don't care. You want to complain about this, the government I live with, to change it to where you had it, in where you left there for a reason, But anything new, oh my God, I got to change it. I mean, it's not just foreigners coming to the United States and doing it. It's people from other states, other counties, what have you. And I admit, yes, some things can be improved. But here I am, well, I guess we are, but here I am, half the United States away from Florida. And they're coming here and complaining about Florida laws, specifically about the gun violence. As I said in the last video, if somebody wants to get a gun, they're going to get a gun. I know areas, well, let's just say I won't set foot there, but I know areas in Florida that you can get a gun for 30, 40 bucks. It all depends on what you want, but you can get it cheap and you can get it pretty much instantly. What happens is you go talk to somebody, say, hey, this is what I want. They take the money, they hand it to a kid. The kid runs, goes get the gun, and brings it back. I think they're called like not jujubes, but ladybugs. I don't know, something remind me of reference of a bug. But yeah, it's that freaking easy. Now, this Cruz kid. Well, as I found out the other day, apparently he was able to buy 10 firearms before he could even drink. And somebody's not doing a background check somewhere. Because when I had firearms, remind me to talk, pin in that. When I had firearms, I was like, alright, fine, I have some money. I'm going to buy my own little guns and, have something for the house. Well, I bought one. A couple weeks later, I found a place that sold the one I really wanted. So, not really having a return policy on those, not wanting to sell it either, I just go, alright, I'll just go get the other one, and then I have two. So, I went to go buy the second one. The first one, they did a cursory background check, and it wasn't too bad. A couple days later, I'm good. Then, on my second one, it was like 2 to 3 weeks because they were doing some in-depth background search. And that, and I'm sure at one point somebody did a background check on this little Cruz nut job. And I'm pretty sure it came back clear. But they're only looking for specific things. Now, apparently, it was like 30 some odd times. It was a large number police were called out to his house before his mom died uh, due to issues with the kid. That's a failure on the Florida government. And again, I agree that there are improvements, but blank slate, or well, it's not blank slate, but across the board, no civilian has a gun, bull. Not going to have it. Again, as I said before, response times are not fast. 20, 30 minutes is the usual, and they're only going to get longer with the more people that come in. What was the state? Was it Texas? Was it near Houston? Church shooting. Yes, another shooting, and I forget when it was, which is sad, but still, church shooting. Somebody that lived near there got one of their guns, rifles, non-assault rifle, by the way, to take out the shooter that was shooting up the church. Far as I can tell, now, buying the gun is one thing, but the laws about, okay, where you can have it, where you can carry it, what have you, where these shootings are happening are the places where you're not allowed to carry it. You're not supposed to have it except for on your personal property. Be it car, house, what have you. It's clearly illegal for a civilian to have a gun in the school. So what do people call? People don't get an uproar. Well, I mean they do, but they don't go call for, well, these bomb making materials. Let's get it off the market. They don't say that for a car when people mow down a group of people with their car. They go, well, we need to do something with the cars and get the laws changed so this can't happen. Again, granted, he wouldn't have killed that many people if he had a knife, if he had a gun. But go ahead, go grab a knife next. Well, hopefully there's not next time. But if someone has you at knife point, go ahead and grab the knife. Let me know how many fingers you come back with. A gun, you remove the gun from the person, they're not using it anymore. It just, what really got me was these are a bunch of women came, which I'm not having a problem with that, but they brought their damn kids to this. And I didn't even stay for the comments a couple of days ago. I knew what was going to be said, and I knew how it was going to be received. Look at us. Do you not care about my little Jimmy? My little Sally? Yeah, I fucking care. But I'm not going to have my rights infringed in my personal property at risk because of your little Jimmy and Sally. No. I think that's bullshit. And then they say, well, you don't have kids. Yeah, but I've been fucking shot at. I know exactly what it's like. Then they come back with, well, you had the means to defend yourself. Exactly. I had the means to defend myself. Now, granted, kids at fucking school, church, they don't have that. But the way they're wanting laws changed, I wouldn't even be able to have one in my house. Oh, and that brings me back to that, so I don't forget. I was talking to somebody, and as soon as I mentioned, oh, it takes like 30 minutes for anything to get out here, where I'm at. And at least I have something, I have a chance. Well, granted, I might have to go across the house to get the damn thing, but it's a fucking chance for somebody coming in my damn house. Chance. Slim, closer to none, but it's still a chance. When they found out that I might have a gun, I could see it on their face, their entire view of me changed. Which proves another point. Not everybody who owns a gun, or potentially owns a gun, is just going, bang, 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 look at me, got gun. Not waving it around, not using it as a laser goddamn pointer, or to emphasize a point by, no. They're not all like that. I don't, because, look at the typical view of a gun owner, regardless of the type of gun. It could be bolt action, it could be, 22 where you got to pull down the barrel, kind of like a BB gun. I could have one of those. They still see me as the, Yosemite Sam bullshit. Man, did their view change on me. Had to calm down by saying, well, yeah, I know the laws can be improved, but the way people want them handled, today's law-abiding gun owner is going to be tomorrow's criminal for simply having the damn gun. And, well, they should forfeit it. Yeah, still, not the point. They're abiding the law today. They're not going around waving a gun like a maniac. And the gun laws are done the way people want them done. Well, the people who are scared of them. It's going to be tomorrow's criminal. I don't have a gun. Not anymore. I got rid of them. You know why? Because Yosemite Sam is exactly how gun owners are viewed. I'd rather die. And then somebody can say, well, man, he was a soldier. He most likely knew how to use them. He was mentally stable. He may have had a chance to defend himself. But that, and again, it won't even matter when that happens. Oh, I guess if. But let's say it does happen, it won't even matter. Because they'll just go, well, it was that one time. There's so few cases. But this is exactly how the media wants you to see gun owners. They want to see every victim as a frail woman, which is why I said mostly women were speaking about it, and little children. Like every gun owner just goes, oh, look, women, children, let me just shoot them because that's the side of the bed I woke up on. Again, these shootings, mass shootings, happen in areas where they're pretty much guaranteed no one's going to pull one out of their pocket. A law-abiding citizen. And what really gets me is that no one is in an uproar about this until something happens. As long as everything is going smoothly, they're fine. They're fine with the way the gun laws are. They're fine the way pretty much every other law is until something happens. Then they're in an uproar. Something changes or not. Then everything's fine. And then something happens again. And then they get in an uproar again. It's like they forget that they're against gun ownership. And not to go conspiracy theory, but the reason the media is showing every gun owner must be Yosemite Sam, why they go over and over and over again, spending days and weeks until the next goddamn shooting, it's because it's hearts and minds. I don't fear the gun. I fear the person willing to use it on innocent people. Because the person willing to use it on innocent people is going to find a way to do it if they intend to. Just this. And then, I like Ozzy Osbourne. I like his music. But when he said, I don't know if it's recent. I don't know if he actually said it. But people are quoting him as saying something, well, if people kill people but not guns, how about we remove the guns? I know Ozzy has a whole bunch of brain damage for whatever reason. Uh, that's been done. I guarantee the first killing was done by fists. Then they discovered sticks and rocks. Then it's, then not bladed weapons, and it's so on and so forth. Swords, bows and arrows. You know, people use those if need be. Well, I guess there's no really ever need, but if they want to, it's still a killing device. And then they'll pick up the freaking rock. And go ahead, try and ban rocks. Good luck. That makes pretty much any property, at least in the U.S., against the law. It's, again, I agree there can be improvement. I understand what it's like to be shot at. But, me as a responsible person, head on my shoulders, argument's sake, say I have a firearm out there when I go shopping, whatever, and then somebody does something stupid, or I won't carry one on school property, but I'm at a church, I'm at the store, and somebody does that. This isn't video game BS. It's not just sneak up on somebody, do some fancy move, and bam, they're disarmed. When somebody tries to disarm another person with a firearm, unless they're super Navy SEAL, super soldier, and even then they can screw up. Very rarely, highly unlikely, but still. Somebody tries to disarm somebody that has a firearm in their hand, that thing's loaded, one's in the chamber, the first reaction the person that has the gun is going to do is pull that trigger. That could mean somebody, 2 aisles over gets shot, versus, oh, if I had one, and, I could take him out. Try to, anyway. Because as a responsible person, and being trained well, I look at what's between me and my target. Even when it was practice shooting. What's between me and my target? Okay, what's behind that target? What can possibly move at a moment's notice behind that target or in between me and where I'm shooting? Now, I'm not saying every gun owner thinks that way. I think that way. A lot of people think that way. I'm sure a good number of former soldiers, former Marines, all that good stuff, they think like that. They pay attention to what's on the side. Now, I'm not saying, oh, only give soldiers guns or let them have guns. Again, there can be improvement, but the way people want it is a blanket, no one has a gun, is bull. It'll turn today's law-abiding citizen into tomorrow's criminal. And those who are already willing to be criminals would know that the area is mostly gun-free. They will have zero or very little opposition. I do not think a gun, as I'm sure most gun owners do, think a gun is more valuable than a human life. It's not. But that doesn't make owning one, having one, a bad thing necessarily. What people aren't looking at with this Cruz kid in Florida is that the FBI was watching him. Cops were called out to his house several times. It's a failure on Florida's part. It's a failure on the FBI's part. We're spending all this money to monitor everyone else, and they were monitoring them, and they still failed. That's where the attention needs to be for this given situation. And yet he was still, it's a Florida thing. Now, if my state, the other states, the state next to us has that problem. Let's plug that same hole. I'm not saying, well, that hole's in Florida, that hole's in Louisiana. Well, leave the hole open in Louisiana. I'm not. But, especially in local government, they can't, if you're not in Florida, a local government in California can't influence or tell anyone in Florida what to do. Jurisdiction. I don't know what more can be said, but I'm sure I'll find something else. Clearly I have to, because I really think most of the scare of the gun is a misunderstanding. They don't know about it. It looks scary. It's aggressive looking. It does violent things. But put that gun on a table. Whatever gun you want. Assault rifle, bolt action, some type of pistol. And don't touch it. No one touches it. I guarantee you, as long as no one picks that thing up, the gun isn't going to kill anyone. That's why it said, that's the meaning of people kill people, not guns. And this blanket across the board, no one should own a gun. I don't know about anybody else, but that makes me feel I'm in a very bad spot. I don't like what the NRA is doing. Well, I don't like a large chunk of what they're doing. And yes, they are paying politicians. And as long as they're paying politicians and politicians are accepting the money, nothing really is going to change for the better. But they are the ones that gives me the ability to own a gun if I want to. Because, granted, they're not paying attention really to what happened in Florida or anywhere else there was a mass shooting. You know, but again, that's why I'm in the bad spot. If I decide to go out and buy a firearm, so my house has one, well, I can't do that with the blanket laws. I just wouldn't be able to do it. And even if my neighbors immediately, or I immediately, call police when something happens, I'm waiting at least 20 minutes. Minimum. You know? That is a crock. I know it can happen in a split second. And I think the only way to remove the fear is to teach people how to use them, how to maintain them, how to shoot properly, and what to look for. I'm not saying turn them into Green Berets, but a little bit goes a long way. I believe it's Sweden. It's like mandatory for somebody to have a gun. Yeah. Their government's not really having a problem. I don't hear them having big problems with mass shootings. You know? But it's all about hearts and minds. It's about hearts and minds because when mass shootings happen, people go to their governments, demand change. And if citizens do not have guns, the government has nothing to fear because they will have the guns. No matter what law's out there, the government will have the guns. And it's all too easy. That is why we have the right to bear arms. So we don't have to fear our government barging in our houses and doing what they want. Because look at Hitler's Germany. Why'd that happen? Because civilians trusted their government to forfeit their guns. They did. And then when they tried that here in America, the United States specifically, Holocaust survivors spoke out, said, we've been down this road. No, then all of a sudden mass shootings are happening. I'm not saying it's Manchurian candidate bullshit. I don't know. I have no evidence except for the news started reporting more after Holocaust survivors spoke out. Thanks for watching. Please correct me in the comments below. And probably be hearing from me soon, But spread the word, subscribe. You want, forgot to mention in this last video, you want better production value. Well, you're going to have to donate, subscribe, and get me all the requirements to be paid by YouTube. Because I'm not putting any more personal money into the production of my videos. Why would I spend the money on that if no one's going to watch them? Alright, thanks for watching.